$1 million tractor. Sounds insane, right? But here's what nobody tells you. Modern farmers aren't buying tractors. They're buying insurance policies against bankruptcy. In 2025, one mechanical failure during a 15-day harvest window can cost $250,000 per hour. The machines you're about to see aren't luxury purchases. They're survival tools for an industry operating on 5% profit margins. This is why farmers pay millions, and it's more brutal than you think. When people think farmer, they picture overalls and old pickup trucks. That image is dead. Today's large-scale agricultural operators are managing multi-million-dollar businesses. They're data analysts, logistics coordinators, and equipment managers running operations that generate millions in revenue annually, and they're operating on razor-thin margins. In 2025 to 2026, the average profit margin in commodity agriculture is around 5%. 5%. That means for every dollar of revenue, you keep 5 cents as profit. At those margins, inefficiency kills you. Here's the math that changes everything. A large-scale wheat operation during harvest is processing crop worth approximately $8,000 per hour in market value. If your equipment breaks down during the narrow harvest window, usually about 15 days when conditions are optimal, you're not just losing $8,000 per hour, you're losing the entire crop if weather turns bad while you're waiting for repairs. One breakdown at the wrong time can cost $250,000 or more. But it's not just about breakdowns. Agricultural labor costs have hit historic highs, and in many regions, labor simply isn't available at any price. Modern million-dollar machines aren't replacing workers because farmers are greedy. They're replacing workers because those workers don't exist. The choice isn't between workers and machines. It's between machines and bankruptcy. If you want to understand the real economics of modern farming, hit that subscribe button right now, because what you're about to see will completely change how you think about agriculture. These aren't just big toys, they're business survival tools. NEXAT. The NEXAT isn't a tractor, it's a complete farming system. Imagine this. Instead of owning a tractor, a planter, a sprayer, and a combine, 4 separate machines requiring 4 operators, 4 sets of maintenance, 4 insurance policies, you own one modular platform, one machine, multiple functions. A conventional fleet for a large operation includes high horsepower tractor, $750,000, large planter, $600,000, self-propelled sprayer, $500,000 plus combine harvester, $900,000, total $2.75 million. And that's just the baseline equipment. Add specialized tillage equipment, grain carts, and support vehicles, and you're easily over $4 million in fleet costs. The NEXAT system consolidates all of that. The NEXAT runs on dual Liebherr diesel engines, producing 550 horsepower each. That's 1,100 combined horsepower delivered through a diesel-electric powertrain. Why diesel-electric? Because it allows infinitely variable power delivery to each wheel independently. The engines run at optimal RPM for efficiency, and electric motors at each wheel provide precise control. It's the same technology used in mining equipment and locomotives. Proven, reliable, industrial grade. The NEXAT operates at a constant 14-meter width. That's 45 feet. Whether it's planting, spraying, or harvesting, it covers 45 feet in one pass. But here's the revolutionary part. It uses the same wheel tracks for every operation. Conventional farming means tractor makes one set of tracks, planter makes different tracks, sprayer makes different tracks, combine makes different tracks. The result? 70% to 80% of your field gets driven on, compacting the soil. The NEXAT system only compacts 5% of the soil, 5% versus 70 to 80%. That means 95% of your field has perfect soil structure. No compaction, better root development, improved water infiltration. Studies show this can increase crop yields by up to 25%, 25% more yield from the same acres. That's not a small improvement, that's transformational. The NEXAT tracks soil compaction by GPS coordinate, fuel efficiency by field section, yield variation across the farm, equipment performance metrics. When it's time to harvest, the NEXAT becomes a combine. The Nexco harvesting module mounts to the same platform. It processes grain and fills its tank, then unloads at a rate of 650 liters per second. 650 liters per second. The entire 900 bushel tank empties in under 1 minute. For context, most conventional combines unload at 150 to 200 liters per second. The Nexco is more than 3 times faster. Why does that matter? Because faster unloading means less time stopped, more time harvesting, and higher overall productivity. Let's do the math. If eliminating soil compaction increases your yield by even 15%, conservative estimate, and you're farming 5,000 acres of corn, average yield 180 bushels per acre, 15% increase, 27 bushels per acre. Additional bushels, 135,000 at $4.50 per bushel, $607,500 additional revenue per year. The NEXAT pays for itself in increased yield alone within a few seasons, and that's before factoring in reduced labor costs, lower maintenance, 1 machine instead of 4, and operational efficiency. But maybe you don't need a modular system. Maybe you just need unstoppable pulling power. Enter the beast. Case IH Steiger 715. Quadtrac, the unstoppable tank. Some farming operations don't need modular flexibility. They need one thing, the ability to pull massive implements through any conditions without slowing down. That's the Steiger 715 Quadtrac. This machine is built for one purpose: constant power delivery across thousands of acres with the largest tillage and planting equipment ever made. The Steiger 715 is powered by an FPT Cursor 16 engine, 16 liters of turbocharged diesel producing 715 rated horsepower. But here's the key, it peaks at 778 horsepower. That extra power reserve means the tractor never bogs down. Even when pulling a 60-foot disc through heavy clay soil, it maintains speed and efficiency. But horsepower tells only part of the story. Torque is where pulling power comes from. The Steiger generates 3,356 Newton meters of torque at just 1,400 revolutions per minute. That low RPM torque means the engine isn't screaming at high revs to make power. It's pulling hard at efficient speeds, saving fuel, and it reduces the need for constant gear changes. The tractor stays in gear through varying soil conditions, maintaining consistent ground speed. The Quadtrac system uses 4 independent rubber tracks instead of wheels. Why tracks over tires? Surface area. The tracks spread the machine's 32+ ton weight over a massive footprint. The result? Ground pressure of just 6.2 to 8.0 pounds per square inch. That's less pressure than a human footprint. Despite weighing more than 30 tons, this machine causes minimal soil compaction because the weight is distributed so evenly. The Steiger 715 features a mechanical hydraulic suspension system that keeps all 4 tracks in contact with the ground at all times. On rough terrain, conventional tractors lose traction when wheels lift off the ground. The Steiger's suspension keeps constant contact, meaning constant power delivery. No wheel spin, no lost traction, no wasted fuel. Large farms don't sleep during planting and harvest seasons. They operate around the clock. The Steiger 715 has 76,620 lumens of total lighting output with 360-degree visibility. That's enough light to work as effectively at 2 a.m. as at 2 p.m. For operations running 3 shifts during critical windows, this isn't a luxury, it's essential. The Steiger 715 monitors engine load and efficiency, track wear and tension, hydraulic system health, real-time ground speed, and slip. Here's the economic reality. If you're planting or tilling 10,000 acres with a 60-foot implement at 8 miles per hour, the Steiger 715 completes the job in roughly 150 hours. A smaller tractor pulling a 40-foot implement at 6 miles per hour, over 300 hours. That's 150 hours saved. At large-scale operational costs of $500 per hour, fuel, labor, overhead, that's $75,000 in savings per operation. Do that twice a year, spring tillage and fall tillage, and you've saved $150,000 annually. The Steiger 715 pays for itself in time efficiency alone. If this is making sense now, smash that like button. Drop a comment. What surprises you more, the 5% profit margins or the fact that these machines actually pay for themselves? Because what's coming next is even more specialized. Oxbo 8840, the seed corn harvester. Most people don't know there are 2 completely different corn industries. There's grain corn, grown for food, feed, and ethanol. It's harvested by conventional combines that beat the living hell out of it to separate kernels from cobs. Then there's seed corn, grown to produce seeds for next year's planting. Seed corn is worth 10 times more per bushel than grain corn, but only if the seeds are perfect. Here's the problem with conventional combines. They use metal augers, aggressive threshing cylinders, and high-speed processing to maximize throughput. That's fine for grain corn. If a few kernels crack, it doesn't matter. But for seed corn, a single micro crack in the seed coat can kill germination rates. If your germination drops from 95% to 90%, the seed company rejects the entire load. Millions of dollars gone. The Oxbo 8840 is designed from the ground up for seed corn. It's powered by a Scania 550 horsepower engine, but power isn't the main story. The story is the soft touch system. Instead of metal augers that grab and throw ears of corn, the Oxbo uses rubber conveyor belts. These belts cradle each ear and gently transport it through the machine. The picking head removes ears from stalks with minimal force. The conveyors move them smoothly. The cleaning system uses air and screens. No aggressive mechanical action. It's like the difference between tossing something and carefully handing it to someone. The IntelliClean system removes leaves, husks, and debris so effectively that the ears arrive at the processing plant nearly ready for shelling. Why does this matter? Because seed companies charge back for contaminated loads. Every piece of trash in your delivery reduces your payment. The Oxbo delivers such clean product that farmers report zero chargebacks. Seed corn contracts pay premiums for high quality clean product. A conventional combine might process seed corn at $6 per bushel with damage penalties. The Oxbo delivers product that qualifies for $9 to $10 per bushel with zero penalties. On a 500-acre seed corn operation yielding 180 bushels per acre, 90,000 bushels harvested $3 to $4 premium per bushel. Additional revenue, $270,000 to $360,000 per season. The Oxbo 8840 pays for itself in 2 to 3 seasons purely from premium pricing, and seed corn growers are typically locked into multi-year contract. The Oxbo 8840 measures ear quality and moisture, contamination levels, machine throughput, gentle handling metrics, that ROI compounds. Now let's talk about versatility at the $1 million level. Fendt Rogator 900, the shapeshifter. Most farming equipment is specialized. A sprayer sprays, a fertilizer spreader spreads. If you need both, you buy 2 machines. The Fendt Rogator 900 eliminates that problem. This machine transforms from liquid application to dry application in under 2 hours. The Rogator 900 features what Fendt calls the H-chassis high clearance. The machine can hydraulically raise its clearance from 56 inches to 76 inches in under 45 seconds. Why does this matter? Because crops grow. If you need to apply fungicide to 6-foot-tall corn, a conventional sprayer can't drive through without destroying the crop. The Rogator simply raises itself and drives over the top. The Rogator's liquid logic system continuously recirculates spray liquid through the booms. Why is this revolutionary? Because conventional sprayers have a huge problem: nozzle clogging. When a nozzle clogs mid-pass, you either stop, clean it, and waste time, or keep going and underapply that section. Both options cost money. Liquid logic keeps liquid constantly moving, preventing clogs. And if a nozzle does clog, the system automatically compensates by adjusting nearby nozzles. The result? Perfect application every time. Agricultural chemicals aren't cheap. Top-tier fungicides can cost $40 to $60 per acre. If you're applying unevenly, overspraying some areas, underspraying others, you're either wasting product or getting poor disease control. Fendt estimates the liquid logic system saves up to $11,600 per season in reduced chemical waste. On a 3,000 acre operation, that's $3.87 per acre saved. Over 10 seasons, that's $116,000. Switching from liquid to dry application means removing liquid tanks and booms, installing dry product hoppers and spinners, reconfiguring hydraulics and controls. The Rogator 900's modular design allows this swap in about 90 minutes. For custom applicators serving multiple clients, that flexibility is worth its weight in gold. One machine, multiple revenue streams, records, chemical application rates by square meter, nozzle, performance tank levels, and pressure weather conditions during application. Quick pause. If you're starting to understand why these machines cost millions, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. The economics. Why millions make sense. Let's add up the value we've discussed. NEXAT, 25% yield 12-fold increase from reduced compaction, $600,000 plus per year. Labor savings, 1 operator versus 4, $150,000 per year. Reduced maintenance, 1 machine versus fleet, $50,000 per year. Steiger 715, time savings from higher speed and width, $150,000 per year. Fuel efficiency from constant power delivery, $30,000 per year. Reduced downtime from 24/7 capability, $50,000 per year. Oxbo 8840, premium pricing for quality seed corn, $300,000 per year. Zero penalty charges, $20,000 per year. Rogator 900, chemical waste reduction, $11,600 per year. Versatility revenue, additional services, $40,000 per year. These aren't theoretical, these are documented, measurable returns. What's the alternative to investing in million-dollar equipment? Hiring custom operators with their own million-dollar equipment, and you're at their mercy for scheduling, or running outdated equipment that breaks down, operates inefficiently, and can't access the data and precision that modern farming requires. Neither option is cheaper in the long run. The truth about million-dollar machines. When people ask, why do farmers pay millions for these machines? They're asking the wrong question. The right question is, how do farmers compete without them? In an industry operating on 5% margins, where one breakdown during a 15-day harvest window can cost $250,000, where labor is unavailable at any price, and where soil health determines long-term survival, these machines aren't optional, they're essential. The NEXAT consolidates a $4 million fleet into one efficient platform. The Steiger 715 delivers unstoppable power with minimal soil impact. The Oxbo 8840 handles premium crops with surgical precision. The Rogator 900 provides versatility that maximizes equipment utilization, and every one of them is a data platform that optimizes operations and prevents catastrophic failures. $1 million isn't the cost of a machine, it's the cost of staying in business. It's insurance against failure. It's a platform for efficiency. It's access to technology that turns slim margins into sustainable profits. Modern agriculture isn't about farming the way your grandfather did. It's about managing a technology-driven business where every decision is backed by data, every operation is optimized, and every investment must pay returns. The farmers who understand this survive and thrive. The ones who don't, they're selling out to the ones who do. If this changed how you see modern agriculture, here's what I need. First, smash that like button. It tells YouTube this content matters. Second, subscribe and hit the bell. We're covering the real economics of farming every week, not the romantic version, the actual business reality. Third, drop a comment right now. If you had to choose one of these machines, which would it be and why? The modular NEXAT, the unstoppable Steiger, the gentle Oxbo, or the versatile Rogator? I read every comment and I want to know what you think. And if you made it to the end, you're serious about understanding modern agriculture.